Yo, 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 good evening. Good evening. What up, news crew? What up? What up to the crew? Shout out. Shout out. Thank you all for joining us this evening for a special conversation with Toni Bryce, Miss Toni Bryce. And I want to shout out to Toni. Thank you for so much for coming to chat with the crew, coming to answer some of our questions, to share some details about, acting, being trans in the community. I appreciate all of that, and so I'm honored to get into that tonight. Thank you all. What up, Naries? What up, Voodoo? Thank you too. Thank you both for being here and dropping down in the chat. I scheduled this for 7:55, but I definitely wanted to start at 8 o'clock. I'm gonna play just a brief video of some clips of Toni Bryce, just in case any of you are not familiar with some of her work. So check this out.
Shame Uncle Clifford kicked Toy on about the club.
She gonna be alright.
That's what I heard now. She being took care of.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You think I don't know what you bitches been doing? How else you rocking VVS's in your change, you see?
Cause I'm the best motherfucking dancer up in this bitch. These hoes better recognize.
So why you ain't satisfied with that? I know why. Cause flying around that pole just the illusion of some pussy. And there comes a moment in the night where these niggas want that real shit.
Why you telling me all this shit?
Cause you ain't got nobody like me in your stable. And best believe, it's a lot of niggas want what I got.
Well, I know you ain't gonna tell your ace Blanco on Clifford.
It's a lot of things I ain't told Uncle Clifford.
Oh, girl, what happened to you?
Who did this to you?
Are you okay?
Okay, no judgments, but whoever did this to you does not care about you.
You do not need him.
Or her.
Or them.
But you do need shoes, because this is a public bathroom.
Right. Got some here. Take these right here.
Yes, and then let's put this on.
Oh, thank you, but I just need to get cleaned up. I don't need you to put makeup on me.
Yes you do.
Do you have anywhere to go?
I have to call my cousin to get me. Can I borrow somebody's phone?
Oh, yeah, girl.
Here you go, girl.
I get to split my wig for y'all heifers, dude.
Bitch, you thought you was dead.
I knew it was y'all ass.
That child what you want, you better go get him. If anything this pandemic has taught me is that Uncle Clifford rule number 92 is the truth. Life is like cocaine. It can be blowed at any minute.
Well, none of us sure know about some blowing. The last time I seen your ass in jail, you was in there for soliciting.
Child.
Hoeing ass.
What? You gonna give me a job working the pole at the paint?
Heifer, you know these niggas. Look, make it a house mother, dog.
Come on, AT. Y'all not hate when y'all paint like this.
Clifford status stay clowning me. I like where I'm at and what I'm doing. Do you?
Don't be that way. Nineveh.
Okay, so I'm so excited to get into some of the intricate details. We're going to start with the beginnings of her career, sort of how it played, how acting, how deciding to transition played a huge part in her becoming sort of the talented person she is today. We're going to talk about some of the being trans in Hollywood, some of the positive experiences, some of the negative experiences. I'm going to talk about some of the stereotypes that trans women face, and also get into some of the stuff we talk about here on Local News. She's also an activist, and so I'd like to talk about one story in particular that happened in Detroit and get her take on it. So she should be here shortly. Shout out Nate. What up, Nate? Thank you for coming through. Boo. What up, Southern Belle? Thank you. I always appreciate you for stopping through too. What up, Zach? What up, Zach? What up? What up? Thank you all for being here tonight. And also Thursday, join us. We'll also have a trainer here to answer some of our questions. And also provide us some tips on how to be, sort of healthier at home, some at-home fitness, also how to eat healthier. And that's something that I'd like to get into. So we have that coming up Thursday. And then I'll also probably come live this week sometime just to cover some hot topics. Make sure you also check out the video earlier if you did not get a chance. Nene Leakes did drop her lawsuit against Bravo, NBC, Universal, and so I thought that was very interesting. Can't wait to hear more about that. We're also going to play a trivia game with Toni. However, Toni does not drink, so we don't have to worry about her taking shots or anything like that, but there'll be some interesting questions for her to answer and cover. We'll also talk about what it's like to be on set, both P-Valley, SheHulk, but there were some other shows that she was a part of. I'm going to ask her how was it like to be on set, and then moving from different films and touching with rubbing elbows with different actors. What is that like? And then some advice, some sound advice she'd give to other folks who are trying to come up in sort of the acting career. What are some roadblocks you should be prepared for? And, what are some things you should just be expecting? So I can't wait to get into some of that. Yes, for the trainer. Yes, we have a slew of trainers that might be gracing the show throughout the month of August and September. So be on the lookout for that. But thank you, News Crew, for coming here. I was so concerned. I was like, maybe you all would show up or not, but y'all showed up. I appreciate it. We're gonna have a good time, a good conversation tonight. I asked her to stop down like around 8:10. That way I can talk to you all. We can get started. Um, Feel free to ask questions. She's very much so open. I believe that, with her being an activist and also understanding, our LGBTQ experiences, she'd be more than willing to answer any questions that you might have. I know I have some questions. And so I can't wait to be able to answer, see what she has to say. This is actually the first trans woman who's graced our channel. So it's a pleasure for me to be able to just have a conversation. I was very shocked. I actually saw the SheHulk clip online and then I went to go see the video and then I'm like, oh wow, that's amazing. And so I sent her a message and she was so gracious and sweet and kind to just get back to me, and so it was just a wonderful thing. So I appreciate that. Us smaller YouTubers, we need all the support and all the love we can get as well. So I appreciate her for doing that. And I'm gonna send her a love offering as well. So if any of you all want to show her some love, her Cash App is Cash App Toni Bryce XO. And if you want to, send her a Cash App throughout the show, before the show, after the show, please feel free to do so. And then also at the end of the show, we'll figure out what's going on next and sort of where can you find her. And so I believe she is backstage. Hey, Toni. Hey, Toni. You look so pretty. All right. Without further ado, please let me bring Miss Toni Bryce to the stage. Hey.
Hi.
How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm so glad. I was just telling you, I'm so glad that you were so willing to just come through and chat with us. We're a small bunch. We real calm, cool. I don't know if you saw like our other videos. We just, talk about everything that goes on. And I was telling them I saw the clip online and I was like, wow, I was so impressed by it, as you can see in the email. And so I just wanted to come and chat with you about it. So thank you. Thank you.
Well, no, thank you for reaching out and thank you for having me. I am grateful and appreciative. Just to be seen and platforms and all of these good things. I'm grateful.
Thank you. Well, yes. So I played a couple video clips from P Valley and from SheHulk, but I also talked about Twisted. I think that was your first breakout sort of movie as I was reading some of the bio. So I just before we begin, I wanted to ask you a question. What city are you in? Are you in Atlanta?
Mm-hmm.
You are in Atlanta.
I'm from St. Louis, but I live in Atlanta.
Okay. So you are on the scene. Okay. All right. All right. Well, thank you again so much for being here with us tonight. And so I sent you an idea of what I wanted to talk about tonight. So I just sort of want to just jump right into it. So first, starting with your beginnings, sort of how you got to the career, how you got to who you are today. I want to talk about your transitioning and your family. What sort of how did that all transpire? Did you have a conversation with your family? I know there's a story about your mother and your mother catching you. Yeah, I read that story. I did a little bit of digging.
Come on, research.
I did a little bit of digging. So I know there's a story about that, and I wanted to know, in that experience, is that what led you to make that decision to transition? And so, if any of that you could share with us.
Well, like I tell people all the time, for me, transitioning is spiritual for me.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of people think it's about, you were assigned one sex and one gender at birth, and now all of a sudden you've been around your mama too long, they let you play with girl stuff, and so it inspired you or influenced you. Or a lot of people think, you've been violated or raped or molested, and so you've landed here. And for me, it was never about any of that. So I always talk about my journey being spiritual, and I feel like, as we talk about being spiritual beings and are having this human experience, and if we are spirits put in these physical bodies, why can't my spirit be divine feminine? Why can't she be who she always was, but placed into this body? And often people talk about, oh, I was born in the wrong body. I don't necessarily feel like I was ever born in the wrong body, because to say that I was born in the wrong body kind of feels as if trans people don't exist. I feel like it kind of tries to erase us, like people already do. I actually feel like it validates why we're here, and that God or whomever you believe in doesn't make mistakes, because I'm exactly who I'm supposed to be, living a life and creating a path and journey that I'm supposed to create. So I'll say that first. It's spiritual for me first. And then I feel like as a young kid, you feel that divine feminine, and you're trying to find ways to express that, because you don't always have the terminology to say, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. No, but sometimes you should have that freedom to be able to express whatever it is that you're feeling. And so that was my way of expressing what I felt, and
you were raised in the church. I know you talked about singing A Christmas Carol as well in the church.
Well, A Christmas Carol, that came back, or that was high school, because that's when I started theater.
Okay.
But I was raised in church, just like the typical.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's exactly that's all of us almost.
But yeah, so I was definitely raised in church, and I feel like because being raised in church, and that doctrine and what that space teaches people to how to invalidate or tell people they're not right or they're abominations and blah blah blah. So when my mom did catch me finally, in heels or playing with makeup or whatever it was that I was doing, putting little things on my nails as if I had nails. Mind you, don't even like nails now.
You don't?
Hate them. We definitely had a conversation when I was younger. After she called me and she asked, do you want to be a girl? Do you want to wear a dress? And in my mind, I was like, did my mama really say this? Because I was like, what would she had known about a sex change? Like, did she really say that? So I kind of go back and forth with myself in my memory about that moment and what she said. From my memory, I feel like that's what she says, but I know the first two are facts. And that's definitely what do you want to be a girl? Do you want to wear a dress?
So was your father in the home?
He was. You know what's so interesting? He didn't live with us, but I never knew he didn't live with us. I never knew that, because he was always there. He was always around. I didn't realize until I was older that he didn't live with us. I didn't realize that until I was older that he was with a whole nother woman and still with her to this day. And I guess, him and my mama was high school sweethearts. And so they still had a thing for each other. Thus, me and my brother are here. But he was with somebody during that time. I guess he was kind of like back and forth with them. But as we grew up to notice those type of things, I didn't realize he didn't live with us. I thought he lived with us. So he was definitely around, but we definitely didn't have like a close relationship, because he was a hustler. He was a hustler. He was doing his thing. He was a hustler. So he was more about providing finances, a roof over the head, clothes on your back, stuff like that, versus providing a relationship. That was the priority for him, was the other stuff. And so we were never close. But yeah, he was around. I know who I know he is. He was around. I thought he lived with us when we were younger, but he didn't. So
did he know about, you wanting to be, did he know any of that growing up?
I don't know. I don't know that he knew anything, or I don't know what conversations. I never felt, at least from my memory, I never felt like judged for who I was, or how I showed up, or what my energy was by him. It was always
always good though.
Yeah, it was always my mama, but I don't know. I can tell you we've never had a conversation about it though. Even
To this day?
to this day, we've never had a conversation about me transitioning. And I know he knows because his girlfriend, common law wife at this point, we're friends on Facebook. So I know he's seen pictures and stuff like that, but I've never had a conversation with him about it because we just don't have a relationship anymore. So
Okay. Yeah.
he went to jail for a long time, and he told my mama he felt like that during the time that he went to jail, when he got out of jail, he said he felt like so much time had went by, he didn't know how to be a parent to us anymore. So he allowed that to keep him away and for us to not develop a relationship. So we don't have those kind of conversations.
We in the same boat. Okay. Okay. So your mom now, she catches you. You all have a conversation, but you tell your mother no at the time. Like, no,
Correct.
you're not having any of these feelings. No, you don't want to transition. No, you don't want to be a female, a woman.
Mhm.
And what was the reason of holding it from her at that time?
Because it was her tone, it was her aggression in the moment. Like, that's your mama, your mama yelling, and baby, I don't know about no spanking, baby. We got whoopings with switches, with belts,
Baby, yeah.
she could find at the time. So I feel like in that moment, me saying no was kind of the right thing to do to not be in trouble, or to kind of save myself or protect myself from like getting a whooping, basically.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what it was about for me. What it was about for me, and that's, I think, where that religious part ties in it. They're taught, and it's passed down generation to generation. You're taught these people are not valid. These people are wrong. Da, 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 they're going to hell. They're abominations. And
So to this day, have you and your mom how's the relationship to this day?
we're great now. She when I did, I remember when I finally decided that transitioning was the right thing to do, because I had put it off for a year since I was in middle school. I called her and I said, "Well, mama, I just want to let you know I'm grown, and I know you know this, but I'm also transitioning, and it ain't nothing nobody could do to or say to deter me. Like, it is what it is." And she was like, "Okay." And at that time, like, I wasn't in her house no more, so what could she do? But I also didn't know that she really believed me. And then she eventually moved down to Atlanta that following year, because that following year I had took a few months to like do my research and doctors and hormone replacement therapy, stuff like that. And then she actually went with me to my first appointment for my hormone therapy. Yeah. So that relationship has definitely evolved. It has certainly evolved. I am her daughter. She uses the correct pronouns. And so it's evolved, because what we as people have to understand is that relationships are optional. And I can choose to not be in a relationship with anybody that doesn't serve me well. And that can be a mama, daddy, brother, sister, cousin, whoever. If you're toxic and you're not good for me, we won't be in a relationship. And that's just that on that.
That is such a true statement. I just being honest. I mean, it's a lot of folks in the LGBTQ community who face that, not just trans women, but even gay men. Where their parents and their dads shun the fuck out of them, all the way up to the grandmas. And so you just have to decide, okay, I have to move the fuck on. And so, yeah, when I say I understand, I completely understand that. Okay, so now after you faced all of that throughout your childhood, what was the moment that led you to jump out into the acting career? Now, was that after you decided to transition?
No, mind you, I didn't transition until I was grown.
Okay, right. That was
25.
Right. Okay.
And so acting came in my life. I think what you're talking about is when I was younger, I played Santa Claus in elementary. I think.
Okay.
Christmas Carol was a play, but it was in high school. It was the first show I had ever done. And I was a dramaturg, which the dramaturg, if people are not familiar with that language, is like an event planner. We plan everything. We plan the flyer, the marketing, ticket sales, like all of that kind of stuff. That kind of logistics for the play. So that was my introduction. I came in as a dramaturg. And then after that, like I knew that I wanted to do acting because my high school before that we didn't have a drama department or class or anything. And so I was like, when we finally moved to go to McClure Senior High School, which is where I went my last 2 years because my school before that lost accreditation. And so my mom was like, yeah, I'm getting y'all out of this school because y'all will not graduate from a school that has lost their accreditation. Okay. So then when I went to that school, they had a drama department. And so boom, that's where I was able to really plant that seed of acting. Even though I had wanted to do it previously, I just didn't have the outlet. And so McClure gave me that. So shout out to Troop 787.
Okay.
Senior high school in St. Louis.
It's amazing how many queer folks grow up in the theater and church background, like, and whether they become actors or are in the church background. But I grew up in church, and I'm not a church individual at all. But it's just so funny how, that crosses our path. I remember, being in drama classes, and I never came into acting. So it's interesting that that's your background as well. Did you have any childhood role models?
Somebody recently asked me this question, and I don't have an answer.
Really?
I really don't have an answer because when I was a kid, I really was a loner. I just really didn't have relationships with a lot of people. And so for me, I just remember a lot of times praying as even a kid. Like I used to like my grandfather or my mother's father, he passed like when my mama was a child. So I never got to meet him. But I used to find myself like praying and like thinking I'm talking to him for some reason. Like that was somebody I felt like I was trying to reach out to, or like if I'm praying to God or if I'm connecting with somebody. I don't know what that connection was about. But if anything, I was just like, I tried to pray. I just tried to pray because I was a little loner. Everybody in my family was, was getting on my nerves. They was getting on my nerves. I don't want to be around y'all. I don't want to talk to y'all about nothing. I don't want to do that. So when you're experiencing it from home, from school, then it's just like, child, what else can you do? So that's what I did. I just prayed. And I think that's why that spiritual side of me will never leave, because that wasn't even rooted for me. I don't think even as a kid, it wasn't even rooted in religion. I think it was just rooted in God. You're the only person I got to talk to because I ain't got nobody else to talk to because everybody, I feel is like against me for whatever reason. So I'm good on that. I need to talk to somebody, and that was the person to talk to. So I don't necessarily feel like I had any heroes or role models growing up.
Do you feel like that today?
Now today, I think looking back, I would say I really do appreciate my mother as a mother, not the relationship, not the journey, but as a mother, and how she was able to be a single mother of 5 kids, and all 5 of her kids graduated high school. I'm the only one that went to college and graduated college, but none of us are in jail. That kind of stuff. When it comes to my mama, I'm now able to like really look back and appreciate. While the relationship was rocky, I was like, okay, that's somebody I think I can draw some strength from moving forward. If I build my own family biologically, or if I have a chosen family, like that's somebody I feel like I can draw some inspiration or strength from present day. But as a kid,
How many siblings did you have?
It was 5 of us total.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's just on my mama's side. My daddy's side, I don't know. I only know of 2.
Okay. And then before we actually get into talking about your career and acting and all things that, I wanted to talk about, were there any stereotypes that you felt like you had to sort of defeat after you transitioned while pursuing your career? I know you talked about there was some intimidation going on when you would show up on some audition calls and stuff like that.
I feel like stereotypes. I was battling stereotypes before I even transitioned.
Okay.
It was a personal battle because when I was growing up, and the first women who I met that were trans, they were doing things that I didn't know at the time were probably about survival for them, or that was about, a means to an end or
Makes
whatever.
more
I
sense.
didn't realize that as a young person. So me seeing that, I internalized that and was like, well, these people are definitely a representation of who I know myself to be, but I'm not willing to do those things to be able to reach, the
Yeah.
person I know I am. And so I internalized that for so long. And so I would say that the stereotypes for me were before I even transitioned, because those were the things that I myself had to get over and work through
Yeah.
to even get here.
Yeah.
Because I internalized that for so long. And it's so crazy because last year I was in St. Louis and I seen those same girls. And I didn't say anything to them, but I just looked at them and just had a memory of like to know that I was a young person seeing them and like admiring that they were able to transition, but not liking what they were doing.
Yeah.
So I internalized that feeling like I needed to do that. And I can't blame them. Like that was their life, that was their path and their survival. That had nothing to do with me. And
Yeah.
so I always tell people, don't internalize nobody else's journey or experience, because yours is yours after that. Because had I not did that, I would have transitioned in college. As soon as I left my mama's house,
Yeah.
I would have transitioned in college. So yeah, I would say prior to transition is when I had to do that work, but that was a battle with myself. And then when it came to acting, early on, I was trying to be so transparent to where I would audition for a role, and it was if it said, woman, which obviously in their language is meaning cis woman. I would like, I'm trans. And so one day I was like, girl, you're a woman, so you don't have to add those extra disclaimers in. Like, I'm an actress, I'm a woman, yeah, I'm trans, but I'm still a woman. So I stopped adding those disclaimers and I just started submitting. And that's when because I started in 2016 in the indie industry here before I even got to TV.
Yeah.
TV would come later that year on MTV Epic Fails. But then I started the end of 2016. I started to get into background for TV, and I did used to feel a way because sometimes I feel like, oh, they're not using me because I look a certain way, like my makeup, or I probably look too dolled up, or whatever the case may be. So I did always feel a way. I never had any issues while I was on set of like people knowingly, let me say that, saying things or doing weird or being weird or whatever the hell.
Yeah. I was
I
wondering.
knowingly seen that or experienced that, but in my mind, was it happening around me? Probably so.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna ask you that. So it's a great we're gonna stop right there real quick. So I have these 5 questions for you, okay?
Okay.
But before I do that, let me shout out some of the folks that came in the room. What up? What up? Hey, it's Jay. It's been a while since I seen you. What up? Love the St. Louis. Good people. Good people. Do you go back to St. Louis often?
I don't. So let me also add an extra layer of transparency. I'm from East St. Louis, Illinois. And if anybody knows St. Louis,
Okay.
it's rough.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I grew up
Yeah.
in East St. Louis, born and raised, but then we moved to St. Louis, Missouri at some point. And so I also lived part of my, childhood, teenhood in St. Louis, Missouri too.
I did like Chicago for like 10 years. So when you said East,
Okay.
I was like, oh, okay. Okay.
Right.
What up, great girl? What
Yeah.
up, great girl? What up? What up? What up? All right. So before I do the 5 questions, I want to run your clips one more time for
Okay.
the crew. Okay. And
Okay.
then we're gonna get back to these questions. So y'all check this out.
Shame Uncle Clifford kicked Toy on up out the club.
She gonna be alright.
That's what I heard now. She being took care of.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You think I know what you bitches been doing? How else you rocking VVS's in your chains, you see?
Cause I'm the best motherfucking dancer up in this bitch. These hoes better recognize.
So why you ain't satisfied with that? I know why. Cause flying around that pole just the illusion of some pussy. And there comes a moment in the night where these niggas want that real shit.
Why you telling me all this shit?
Cause you ain't got nobody like me in your stable. And best believe, it's a lot of niggas want what I got.
Well, I know you ain't gonna tell your ace gonna call on Cliff.
It's a lot of things I ain't told Uncle Clifford.
Oh, girl, what happened to you?
Who did this to you?
Are you okay?
Okay, no judgments, but whoever did this to you does not care about you.
You do not need him.
Or her.
Or them.
But you do need shoes, because this is a public bathroom.
Right. Got some here. Take these right here.
Yes, and then let's put this on.
Oh, thank you, but I just need to get cleaned up. I don't need you to put makeup on me.
Yes, you do.
Do you have anywhere to go?
I have to call my cousin to get me. Can I borrow somebody's phone?
Oh, yeah, girl.
Here you go, girl.
I get to split my wig for y'all heifers too.
Bitch, you thought you was dead.
I knew it was y'all ass.
That child what you want, you better go get him. If anything this pandemic has taught me is that Uncle Clifford rule number 92 is the truth. Life is like cocaine. It can be blowed at any minute.
Well, Nineveh show know about some blowing. The last time I seen your ass in jail, you was in there for soliciting.
Child.
Hoeing ass.
What? You gonna give me a job working the pole at the paint?
Heifer, you know these niggas. Look, I get a house mother down.
Come on, AT. Y'all not hate when y'all play like this.
Clifford status stay clowning me. I like where I'm at and what I'm doing. Do you? Don't be that way. Nineveh.
I saw you back there doing some of the scenes. Do you ever watch yourself again? Do you ever watch any of them? Oh wait. Oh, you was on mute. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying yes. I watch it like every time an episode comes out. I'm watching it like 5 times. One, because me and my sister Monroe, who's also in that last thing, who was saying, "Wait, Nineveh."
Yeah.
We do a recap show on her Instagram for P Valley and The Shy. And then too, just to like, I don't know, see myself. And it's different when you film those scenes, because what happens is after you film a scene, you go and you do some audio digital recording, which is voiceover work, and you see a little bit, but then you get to see it all put together.
Hold on. I think my stream just stopped. It says stream suspended for policy violations. I think it just stopped me.
Oh, hold on. It was probably that SheHulk
the P Valley, yeah. Hold on.
It would have been SheHulk, because Disney is not playing.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna end this broadcast and send you a link on another link to start it back up. Okay.
Okay.
All right.